Good day, dear viewers, and welcome back to your ultimate source for the most explosive, jaw-dropping, and utterly scandalous headlines from the high seas of reality television. Today, we are plunging headfirst into a tempest that has rocked the very foundations of Bravo's beloved Below Deck franchise. A scandal so audacious, so utterly unthinkable, that it has sent shockwaves from the lavish yachts of the Caribbean straight to the living rooms of millions around the globe. This isn't just a rumor, folks. This is an alleged betrayal of epic proportions, a breach of sacred boundaries, and a thorough investigation that threatens to unravel the very fabric of an entire season. We're talking about a situation so incredibly fraught with moral dilemma and shocking impropriety that it left even the steely-nerved Captain Kerry Titheradge reaching for his rulebook, launching an unprecedented internal inquiry to get to the bottom of what some are calling the biggest scandal in Below Deck history. The whispers have been growing louder, the sneak peeks more tantalizing, but now, thanks to an exclusive tell-all, we have confirmation that the salacious rumors are not only true, but the repercussions are far more profound than anyone initially imagined. Prepare yourselves, because the focus of this nautical nightmare is none other than deckhand Kyle Stillie, and his alleged transgression, a shocking jaw-dropping hookup with a married guest. Yes, you heard that correctly. A married guest enjoying a luxurious charter while her husband was literally on board within earshot, perhaps even just rooms away. The very thought sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? This isn't just a breach of crew guest protocol. This is a blatant disregard for basic human decency, a potential shattering of marital vows right there on the pristine deck of a super yacht. The audacity, the sheer, unmitigated audacity. During an exclusive tell-all interview with Us Weekly, the revered Captain Kerry Titheradge himself confirmed that the rumors had reached his ears, and he took immediate, decisive action. This isn't a captain who shies away from difficult conversations or turns a blind eye to impropriety. Oh no! Captain Kerry is a man of integrity, a staunch defender of order and professionalism, and once he was alerted to the scandalous whispers of intimacy between Kyle and a guest, he knew he had to act. The sanctity of the vessel, the professionalism of his crew, and the very reputation of the Below Deck franchise hung in the balance. There was an investigation done. I'm not too sure how much of that will be shown, but I did a thorough investigation before I made my decision. Kerry, at 49 years old, revealed his voice a steady testament to his unwavering commitment to justice. He then dangled the ultimate cliffhanger for fans, teasing the agonizing question that has dominated fan forums. It will be interesting to see what happens after I interviewed each of the crew members, including what was actually said behind my back. Just imagine the tension on that yacht. A full-blown internal investigation led by the captain himself. Every crew member from the chief steward to the newest deckhand being called in one by one to recount their version of events. The nervous glances, the whispered conversations, the palpable fear of consequences. Captain Kerry isn't just a figurehead, he's a detective, piecing together the scandalous puzzle, sifting through alibis and confronting the uncomfortable truths. And the chilling detail of what was actually said behind my back hints at an even deeper layer of betrayal, of clandestine conversations, and hidden truths that he was determined to unearth. It's a level of drama rarely seen on reality TV, a real-life whodunit playing out on the high seas. Captain Kerry, ever the pragmatic leader, was quick to point out the inherent challenges of his position. He doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, nor does he possess the ability to be in every single corner of the vast super yacht at once. I don't get to see what's going on below deck because I'm in the wheelhouse, or I'm over here and I can't be everywhere, he explained. I don't micromanage. I allow my crew to grow, and I like to be here and to help encourage people. There's a lot I don't see, and there's even more I don't want to see. This statement sheds light on the delicate balance he strikes as a captain, fostering independence and growth among his crew, while also upholding the highest standards of conduct. His admission of even more I don't want to see suggests a trust, a certain level of innocence he grants his crew, a trust that was allegedly spectacularly shattered by Kyle's actions. It's a stark reminder that even the most experienced captains can be blindsided by the personal choices of their crew. For avid Below Deck fans, the first tantalizing glimpse of this looming scandal came with the release of the official season 12 trailer in April. Just like us, Captain Kerry watched that sneak peek, and what he saw undoubtedly sparked the very concerns that led to his thorough investigation. In the footage, the visual evidence was undeniable. Kyle was seen potentially hooking up with a guest at the beach, brazenly, openly, in full view of his bewildered co-workers. The scene was shocking enough on its own. A crew member engaging intimately with a charter guest is already a major breach of protocol, but doing so with a married guest and in such a public manner elevates it to a whole new level of outrageousness. The trailer then cut to a confrontation that sent chills down spines across the globe. Captain Kerry, his face etched with concern and disappointment, confronting Kyle directly. And Kyle's response? He wouldn't confirm what happened. He seemed to evade, to deflect, perhaps hoping to escape the consequences of his actions. But then, the real clincher, the moment that confirmed the scandalous nature of the alleged hookup. Kyle, caught in a moment of panic, asked the off-screen producers whether his comment about finding a guest whose husband was on charter was a joke. And the off-screen producer, with perfect, piercing precision, asked him the exact same question right back. The implication was clear. This was no joke. This was a direct, undeniable admission, caught on camera, of a boundary crossed in the most egregious way imaginable. The producer's reaction, turning the question back on Kyle, speaks volumes about the gravity of the situation and the unscripted, shocking reality of the moment. Captain Kerry, in his Us Weekly interview, left no doubt about the severity of the alleged offense and the potential consequences. We're going to see how it all develops on the show. If one of my staff is with a married person on the boat, they're not going to stay on the boat. Kerry teased, his voice firm and uncompromising. You're breaking a boundary there that you can't cross. This statement is a powerful declaration of his uncompromising stance on professionalism and ethics. It's a hard line, a non-negotiable rule that applies to every single crew member under his command. Being with a married person on the boat is not just frowned upon, it is, in Captain Kerry's book, an immediate ticket off the vessel. The stakes, dear viewers, could not be higher for Kyle Stillie. Is this the end of his below deck journey? The captain's words certainly suggest a dire fate awaits. Interestingly, prior to this explosive drama, Captain Kerry acknowledged that his experience with Kyle had been largely positive. This adds a layer of complexity to the situation, preventing it from being a simple case of a bad apple. Kyle works very hard. He has a lot of respect. Last season, he was led astray by the bosun, but I think he needs to keep it in his pants. This insightful commentary from the captain paints a picture of a talented, hard-working crew member with a fundamental flaw, a tendency to make poor personal choices, particularly when influenced or perhaps when faced with temptation. The mention of him being led astray by the bosun last season hints at a pattern, a recurring struggle with self-control and adherence to boundaries. It suggests a lack of judgment that, in the high-stakes environment of a luxury superyacht, can have devastating consequences. Keep it in his pants. A blunt yet universally understood command encapsulates the essence of the problem. Despite this glaring personal failing, Captain Kerry's assessment of Kyle's professional capabilities remains high. He continued, but he has a very strong work ethic, and he's a very good crew member to have around. He doesn't have any ego. He gets the job done, he works hard, and I want to see him grow in the ranks. I want to see him continue in the franchise. Let's see if he can be a bosun one day, but maybe that's over for him. This profound statement reveals the captain's dilemma, a talented worker versus a problematic personal choice. He sees potential in Kyle, a desire for him to ascend the ranks, to become a bosun, a leader, but the alleged hookup with a married guest has put all of that in jeopardy. The dream of climbing the ladder of a continued career in the below deck franchise hangs by the thinnest of threads. Maybe that's over for him. A chilling possibility that underscores the severity of his actions and the captain's unwavering commitment to the strict code of conduct on his vessel. It's a sad reflection of wasted potential, all because of a moment of alleged recklessness. And Captain Kerry was not the only one to weigh in on the brewing storm. The usually composed, impeccably organized Chief Steward Fraser Olender also shared his perspective with Us Weekly, revealing that things were turbulent already on the super yacht St. David even before Kyle's extracurricular activity with the guest. This suggests a volatile atmosphere, a bubbling cauldron of tension and interpersonal drama, where Kyle's actions serve it as the ultimate catalyst, igniting an already volatile situation. Fraser, known for his directness and his own past experiences, with guest relations surprisingly began with a moment of self-reflection. I've done it before, so I can't speak on hooking up with a guest. There, this candid admission from the Chief Steward is both shocking and disarmingly honest. He acknowledges his own past mistakes, his own crossing of lines in the professional sphere. However, he then swiftly pivots to the critical, non-negotiable boundaries that Kyle allegedly obliterated. What is a hard no is on charter, and what is a hard no is potentially engaging in something whilst their married significant other is also around. Fraser emphasized, this distinction is crucial. A hookup, while potentially unprofessional, becomes an entirely different, morally reprehensible act when it involves a married guest with their spouse nearby. It crosses a line from professional impropriety to personal betrayal, a transgression that the crew and certainly the captain cannot tolerate. Fraser's description of the fallout is chilling. He unequivocally stated, "It was definitely the most explosive thing I've been a part of," because this situation then was the catalyst of so many other problems. And this really did spiral into something that no one saw coming. So it's the beginning of the end. It's so good though. The most explosive thing I've been a part of. That's a powerful statement from a seasoned below-deck veteran, someone who has witnessed countless meltdowns, clashes, and dramatic departures. The alleged hookup wasn't an isolated incident. It was the spark that ignited a chain reaction, leading to a cascade of unforeseen problems that spiraled out of control. The beginning of the end. An ominous prophecy that points to a season irrevocably altered, friendships perhaps shattered, and careers potentially ruined. And yet, despite the turmoil and the deeply uncomfortable nature of the events, Fraser, speaking from an outside perspective, acknowledges the undeniable entertainment value for the viewers. It's so good. I'm like, wow. But in the moment, we want it to crumble. This perfectly encapsulates the duality of reality television. What makes for compelling, must-watch content for the audience often translates to agonizing, emotionally draining experiences for the cast. The crew was living through a nightmare, watching their professional and personal lives unravel, while audiences will be reveling in every shocking twist and turn. The desire to crumble in the moment speaks to the immense pressure and stress that this scandal inflicted upon the entire crew. As the days tick down to the premiere or the next explosive episode, Below Deck airs on Bravo Mondays at 8 p.m. ET, with new episodes streaming the very next day on Peacock. And believers, dear viewers, you will not want to miss a single moment of this unfolding drama. The thorough investigation by Captain Kerry, the uncomfortable truths revealed by Kyle, the spiraling consequences that Chief Steward Fraser warned us about. It's all hurtling towards an inevitable confrontation, a reckoning that could change the below-deck landscape forever. The integrity of the yacht, the careers of the crew, and the very boundaries of professionalism are all on the line. Get ready because the waves are about to get very, very rough.